What's my SatAttack squad? It's your boy SatAttack. When y'all see a title, man, better check out 5 killers that confess in court. Trying to be confessed. But hey, Road 2K, man, Joy Family wants to be going dummy, man. Summertime, pretty much. Everyone, pretty much. A lot of people are out of school now, right? It's May 30th. High schoolers, college people. Hey, 2 months, man. Let's go stupid on this 2 months. Let me know what y'all want me to react to next. Could be anything. Preferably not music, though, because that shit gonna copyright. But hey, if you want me to react to music, we can too, man. But let's get it.
Who is facing first-degree murder charges after killing a nanny in Orlando, Florida.
A fucking nanny? Why?
This is Scott Nelson, who is facing first-degree murder charges after killing a nanny in Orlando, Florida.
So you committed the worst possible crime.
Nelson was recently released from a 25-year prison sentence for a bank robbery after he was let go from his painting job.
Bro was just in there for 25 years and came out and killed someone right at the gate. What?
It's the worst possible crime.
I'm assuming not right at the gate.
Nelson was recently released from a 25-year prison sentence for a bank robbery. After he was let go from his painting job, he decided to plan another robbery. Nelson broke into a house with a knife where a nanny was working as a caregiver. He kidnapped her, threw her in the trunk, and drove to a local ATM so he could withdraw cash. Nelson then drove to a remote location and stabbed her to death before ditching her body and the car, where he was later arrested. On trial, Nelson argued that the government was to blame. On trial, Nelson argued that the government was to blame.
You bought zip ties?
Yeah, y'all let him down.
Yes, I did.
You bought duct tape?
That'd be correct.
You bought a knife?
I sure did. I bought that material because I had a plan in mind of how I was
Okay. Like, why you talking like this? Like, goddamn, relax.
going to survive being thrown on the street again for what? The 3rd? Or was it the 4th time by the government? And you know, you kick a dog enough times, they tend to bite back. And really, they just don't care anymore.
Nelson continues testifying, showing no emotion, and finally admits to the murder.
Somebody was going to pay for how you've been treated.
That is very accurate.
Who killed Jennifer Fulford?
I did.
He took the stand during the penalty phase, and this is what he had to say.
How has your mental health been affected by your previous incarceration?
I am a homicidal maniac.
In the end, Nelson was found guilty of first-degree murder.
No shit, he better have. What the hell?
And was sentenced to life in prison.
Bro spent 25 years in prison and it came out right away.
This is Donta Wright, who at 17 years old shot and killed a Pioneer High School student in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Wright and 2 others jumped and attacked the 18-year-old student in an attempt to rob him. While fighting back, he was shot in the head, and his body was left on a path until a maintenance worker found him. The boys were caught soon after and arrested. It was here Wright was supposed to have a pre-trial hearing, but instead he admitted to the crime in return for a plea deal.
Did you in fact rob Jordan Fleet?
No.
And did you use a gun to place him in fear in order to take his property?
No.
And as a result of that armed robbery, what did you do with that gun and Mr. Jordan Fleet?
Shot him.
And where did you shoot him?
Top. Isaiah.
And did you kill him with that shot?
Yes. Now at his
her face is like, what the hell?
And did you kill him with that shot?
Yes. Now at his sentencing, the victim's family delivers a victim impact statement.
Your Honor, my name is Courtney Clay and I'm Karen's cousin. She's asked me to read this on her behalf. I've lost my only child, my son, my baby, my friend. More than that, I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life. This year was supposed to be a year of celebration, of senior pictures with prom and graduation and parties. Instead, it was a nightmare that no parent should ever endure. There will never be an answer good enough to satisfy why you shot my son.
Wright can be seen smirking and seemingly showing no remorse.
Your actions have led you to a prison cell, but have also created an empty cell that I live in every day. While you can still hope to be released one day, I'll never escape my hell. You are still alive, but Jordan has no future.
And now, it's Wright's turn to address the court for his actions.
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon, I love my family.
And now the judge.
What home you talking about, my boy? Like, where you gonna be?
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon, I love my family.
And now the judge threatens to throw out the plea deal.
Watching you sit there, smile, laugh, and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say I'm not going to accept this.
Do it. We'll
go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the life, that means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
After an hour-long recess, the judge and prosecution finally decided to accept the plea deal. He is currently facing a 25 to 52 year prison sentence.
Oh, he just killed someone, bro.
This is Jessica Groves, who along with her
that dude gets out, bro.
husband, Daniel Groves, are both charged with the murder of their own 2-month-old child in Portsmouth, Ohio.
Tell the jury how you killed this baby.
It was an accident.
Not your excuse. How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries?
Reportedly, when the father found the child unresponsive, he later testified he didn't alert authorities because his wife threatened to blame him. That's when the child's body was found at the bottom of a 30-foot well inside a milk crate, wrapped in plastic. Reports found that the child suffered fractures to his skull, arms, ribs, and leg. The mother and father had initially pleaded not guilty, but in a shocking twist, Miss Groves takes full responsibility for the killing of the child.
Jessica, did you, and you only, cause the death of your son, Dylan Groves?
Yes.
Did Daniel Groves participate in the killing of Dylan?
No.
Was Daniel Groves aware of any of the
But the fact that bro, you gotta,
injuries that you
oh no, just dumping that body into some plastic, some shit, bro, that's crazy. That's 2 months. He's already 2 months. Oh, baby.
No.
Was Daniel Groves aware of any of the injuries that you caused that may have led to his death?
No.
Did you hide all injuries that you caused?
Why did you do it?
Yes.
Prosecutors initially claimed they were both responsible for the child's death, and now they demand the truth.
How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries?
I have sat here and admitted.
Answer the question, please. How did you
cause
these injuries?
It was an accident.
Not your excuse for what happened. How did you cause these injuries?
By dropping him.
How did you cause that first 2-inch skull fracture?
I don't remember. I've admitted to my guilt.
How did you?
And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand. Tell them how you caused that injury.
Oh yeah, go crazy, prosecutor. Hey, go crazy. You just killed a 2-month-old baby.
Tell them how you caused that injury.
And dumped him on the side of the road or something. I forgot what it said, but like you just dumped him on the side, like it's nothing. Like y'all just planning on move on with the rest of your life, but
Miss Groves is unable to remember how the child was killed, but she claimed she is the sole reason for the child's murder and acted alone.
My client, Jessica Groves, was and still is a drug addict. There is no doubt about that fact. She, and she alone, caused the injuries to Dylan Groves, which led to his death. She murdered Dylan Groves.
Groves was found guilty on all 11 counts and was given life in prison with no possibility of parole. Her husband was cleared of aggravated murder, but he was found guilty on the remaining 10 charges and was sentenced to 47 years to life in prison.
Hey.
This is Antonio Barbeau, who with his best friend Nathan Pop brutally murdered his great-grandmother in an attempt to life in prison.
Slow down, what the fuck did you say?
This is Antonio Barbeau, who with his best friend Nathan Pop brutally murdered his great-grandmother in an attempted robbery in Sheboygan County,
You try to rob your great-grandmother and you
Wisconsin.
We got in, and then I looked to Nate, he nodded, and then I took the first swing.
Okay, and when you say that you took the first swing is with the hand axe?
Yes, sir.
The boys, who were both only 13 at the time, had intended to sneak up at his great-grandmother's and rob her. But upon showing up at the house, they were spotted and invited inside. She was attacked with a hatchet and a hammer, ultimately being struck at least 27.
Bro, she invited y'all in
and rob her. But upon showing up at the house, they were spotted and invited inside. She was attacked with a hatchet and a hammer, ultimately being struck at least 27 times until she died.
She started heading into the living room falling.
And as she was falling, did you strike her again?
I hit one more time as she was falling.
At any point, did you...
Y'all weird as hell, bro. Like, what?
Do not have the hand axe during this incident.
Right after that, Nate took it and he used it, the blade side of it.
You said that he took off the sweater. By that, do you mean the sweater that you had given him?
Yes.
Why did he do that?
Yes.
I think because it was getting in the way.
Getting in the way of what?
Him swinging.
They then stole $155 in cash and some jewelry before stealing the car and ditching it at a local bowling alley, hoping to frame someone else for the crime. A few days later, both boys were arrested. Now in court, someone else for the crime. A few days later, both boys were arrested. Now in court, Barbeau takes the stand to testify.
We were gonna try to scare her to get money and then use force if needed.
And when you say use force if needed, was there a discussion about what type of force you might use?
An attack, I guess to kill.
Barbeau pleaded no contest to first-degree intentional homicide as part of a plea deal, where he was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole in 36 years.
Nice. Such a weak-ass crying ass up, bro. Such a weak, bro. No.
He would then be 50 years old. In his final statement, his lawyer where he was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole in 36 years.
Hey, you better not get parole, bro.
Where he would then be 50 years old. In his final statement,
that shit not even that old. 50 years old. I know it's old, but like you getting out 50, you killed someone.
Lawyer had to finish his thoughts.
Get out.
I know I don't show my emotions much. I myself am not sure why, but that doesn't mean I don't.
Shut up. A little faking it, bro.
I took away someone's mother, grandma, sister, friend when I had no right to do so.
Pop was sentenced to life in prison as well, but with a chance of parole when he's 45 years old. This is Michelle Blair, who is convicted of murdering 2 of her own children in Detroit, Michigan.
Everybody want to know, yes, I did kill her!
Blair would reportedly beat and starve her 4 children. Eventually, she found out her 9-year-old son was abusing her youngest son, and that's when Blair reportedly tortured her son for weeks as punishment, resulting in the child's death. Then Blair hit his
wait a minute, hold on, rewind this.
And starve her 4 children. Eventually, she found out her 9-year-old son was abusing her youngest son, and that's when Blair reportedly tortured her son for weeks as punishment, resulting in the child's death. Then Blair hid his body in the home freezer. 9 months later, Blair allegedly found out that her 13-year-old daughter was also abusing her youngest son. That's when she began starving her daughter and beating her until she died. Blair kept this a secret for 3 years.
Aren't you the mother, bro? Aren't you just like control it before, like you're supposed to be guiding
her daughter and beating her until she died. Blair kept this a secret for 3 years, telling people that the kids were homeschooled or always out of the house. Eventually, police entered the house due to an eviction notice.
Oh, you dumb! Oh my god! I'm glad you got caught. I'm not saying, oh, damn, why'd you get caught? But I'm glad you got caught. But you got caught because you didn't, bro. You not, bro. She dumb as hell.
Found the children's bodies in the freezer, and Blair was arrested immediately, where she would shockingly confess to the judge.
You meant to kill her.
I definitely meant to kill her.
Wasn't an accident.
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
Blair pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder.
I've confessed 3 times. I'm not going to stop saying what I did.
These are very serious charges with very serious consequences. If you were to plead guilty to a first-degree murder charge, that is life in prison without the possibility of parole.
I know this. I'm not going to come back like, oh, I didn't understand my rights. I'm not a coward.
And she was later sentenced to life in prison.
You're not a coward, you're a terrible mother. God damn.
For the rest of your life without the possibility of parole, meaning, of course, that you will never get out.
Blair is currently serving her sentence at the Huron Valley Correctional Facility in Michigan.
More beautiful. That was 28, but god damn, what are you wearing? What's this for 29 minutes? I want to check this out, but that's a long time. That's a long video. Dropped 1 day ago? Shit. Do I want to react to it? But Road 2K, man, I'll figure it out if I want to react to it. If I want to react to it tonight or some other day, but I'm going to react to this though. But Road 2K.